Hello everybody, Sarah here from HappyHands-uk. So today I want to talk to you about neurographic drawing, and it keeps popping up on my suggestions on YouTube, and I seen a snapshot as you're scrolling through, and it made me think, the picture that was up on the screen made me think, can I do that with clay? So neurographic drawing, it's just I think it's fairly new, and they say that it's a way to calm the mind, and I'll quickly show you what you do. So you basically just make random wavy lines across here, just doodle wavy lines, and the idea is to turn all the harsh lines into soft lines. I'll do it with a bit of a pencil, it's a bit thicker. So what you do is the bits that are pointy, you make them more rounded, doing this very quickly because this isn't really what I'm going to be doing, not on paper anyway. I want to turn this into a clay project, like a slab maybe, or a cane, but I want you to get the idea of what I mean. So the idea is to go through on all of the harsh corners and round them off, and then when you've done that all the way across your piece, you then colour in all the blocks. And I'll see if I can get a photograph and pop it in somewhere here so you can see what I mean. So I want to try and recreate this, but in clay if possible. So what I've done is I've just picked out some nice bright colours, and I have just give them a quick whiz through my pasta machine to kind of soften them up a little bit. So I have, this is tangerine, this is plum, this is Pacific blue, oops, this is lemon, but it ends up with a bit of green in it from my pasta machine. The greeny colour is bear with me. Oh, it's just green. It's green. They're all Fimo, and then red, Fimo. They're all Fimo. That's Fimo Professional, and I think that's Fimo Professional. The rest is soft. I've just literally gone through to find some nice, bright colours, and we are going to need some black for the lines. So I think I'm going to start by just getting a few pieces of each colour. And making them into a shape. And then what I want to do is roll each shape, roll black around each shape that I make, and then join them together. So what I'll do is I'll go away, I will condition my black, I will roll it out as thin as I can on my crappy pasta machine, and I will cover all the sides, and when I've only got a couple left I'll come back and I will pick it up from there. Okay, so I've covered most of them. I'm just going to do these last few with you. So the aim that I'm thinking is to try and keep them the same height, because then when we put them together it'll be a bit more uniform, and it doesn't matter about the shape to start with, because we can adjust to whatever we need it afterwards. Just let me get in shot, because that's not helping you at all, is it? So I've managed to roll this to a 3. You can go thinner or thicker, it doesn't matter, and I suppose the effects will be different, but as you know I can't go any thinner. than a 3 at the moment. So I will just take a slice and just wrap around the edge, and even if there's a bit left over, I'm not really bothered, I'll just continue it round. It'll add to the effect if there's more or less, if you know what I mean. So I'll do the next one. And just give it a wrap. And the next one, just grab a bit more, do that a bit neater. And I've been wiping my fingers regularly because of the black. I don't want it transferring and muddying up my colours. So what I've done, I've cut a piece off and I just basically give it a quick shape, soften it up a little bit more. It's been sat a little bit now. Make sure that it's roughly the same height as the rest of them, and then just give it a quick wrap. So now my thoughts are, oh, I've missed one. Typical. My thoughts are that I can pop them together and make sure that those edges are nice and rounded and soft, like in the picture, and see what I can come up with, see what happens. Just do this last bit quickly. Okay, so I have everything all wrapped. Wasn't happy because that wasn't lined up properly and I'm rushing. Okay, so I'm going to lay them out in a general kind of random pattern, but I don't want colours, similar colours touching or the same colours touching, so I wouldn't want to put the red there or the green there. And I just want to spread them out try and keep brights spread out a little bit too. It's easier said than done. So something along the lines of this. And then I just want to get some nice random shapes going and fit in the next piece. So I'm just playing with it. And joining them up. To eventually make a nice pattern. So I'm going to curve that around so that it kind of sits in there and comes round. Kind of like that. And all this again will probably distort. I'm expecting that when I try to reduce it down. But for the nature of this project, that'll kind of help, I hope, to get the effect that I want. Now I don't want to have a big clump of black in the middle, because it's turning out that I'm getting all the joins in the same place, and I don't want that because it'll just be a massive clump. So I'm going to stretch this one out a little bit and get that join across there, if that makes sense. I'll do the same here. Pop it down. I think we'll go blue there. See if I can make that a bit triangular. And then I can pop it in there. And try and keep a kind of square if I can. If not, I'll just push it into a square. I am the boss. So I'll just accentuate that little corner. You can obviously do this with more thought and a lot neater, because you'll have a bit more time than I have. I'm trying not to touch the top because I don't want to muddy it. See, now those greens are going to be too close together. Move you down. That's better. Get a little, I'm sorry, I'm off screen, aren't I? I've put the phone a little bit higher so it's not in my way as much, so it means that I have to actually look up and over to see. One of these days I'll find the way that's most comfortable and works best. It's going to take a while to find the right way of doing things. Okay, so we have that. So I'm going to start kind of pushing it down a little bit and reducing. So it kind of makes a paved stone, a crazy, colourful paved stone. This may take some time. I'm doing this much quicker than I probably should. But like I say, it doesn't really matter so much about distortion. It'll all help in the end. Okay, I don't think I want to go any smaller than that. Let me just, no, I should let it rest, but I just want to take a slice and see how it's going to look. So it's kind of worked. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I will let this rest and take a few slices and we'll make something with it. I'll come back in a little while.
It looks like your Wi-Fi name or password has changed.
Yes, it has.
To update your Wi-Fi information, go to the Alexa app.
Alexa, shush. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll come back in a bit. I'll let this rest and take some slices and I'll have a think about what I want to do with it. Okay, so this has had a little time to sit and I took another slice off the other end because I was too impatient to wait. So this side's a bit mucky because of the black transferring from my fingers. So what I'm going to do is, I hate waste, a little bit of waste that I had, I did whiz back together and it came out mostly black. So that's the original black. So I was worried that because it's a multitude of colours that it will just be mud. I've picked out some shapes and I've gone to my wonky triangle set. So we'll see what we can do with that. But what I want to do is try and clean up this back if I can. So I'm going to stick it down to my desk and just literally shave off these mucky. And I'll put that with the scraps that I had there. And just scrape off these mucky bits to give it a cleaner appearance on the back. So I hate waste, and you've all seen my scraps. So just trying to get a nice clean finish if I can, because that was the back piece. It's a little bit hollow in there, so I'm just gonna give it a roll so that it catches up a little bit. That's better, it's flat now, so that when I take that off, there we get a nice finish on that. And here there's no black, but this is going to be the back, so it doesn't really matter. And I suppose you could do the same with your little slices and make another little slab and put it on some backing if you don't want to waste it. Like I say, this is going to be the back. So, and that's the front. So I'm quite pleased with the way it's turned out. I'll put that to one side. I'm going to take another slice. I did want it a bit thicker, so I'm going to take quite a generous slice and try, if I can, keeping it as straight as possible, because the further you go into your block, the better the, God, I can't think of the words I'm trying to say. The better the pattern, because it's joined up together. See, like on the back of that one, because it was near the front, I've kind of lost the back, the black a bit. So I'm going to get a nicer piece, and we can move those scraps now. And I'm going to get my clay thickness guides, 4.5. and just try to make it big enough for this to go on, and keeping it nice and...
It looks like your Wi-Fi name or password has changed.
Do you know
To
what?
update your Wi-Fi information, go to the Alexa app.
I think I need to sort that out, don't you? Don't know if I can mute her just for a little while. Okay, so that's now nice and smooth, and I just want to tidy my edges up. And then I will just once more roll it out. Are we big enough? I believe so, just. Okay. And we'll do maybe some earrings with the smaller one. I just want to go and grab a glove, give me a second. I'll chop the fingers off. And open it up. Okay. Try and get a nice little dome on this. It's going to be quite a chunky piece. Make sure I'm on. It fits where it touches, literally. Okay, and I'll stand up because it's quite thick. And give it a jiggle. You'll always find that if you use a glove that it doesn't quite go through as well as it would do if you was just cutting directly through it. So there's one little piece. And I'm going to cut another. Try and use as much of it as I can. I think I'll go a little bit thinner because I want to make earrings to match. I don't know if you heard that, but my daughter's just gone past my room and done a lovely little belch. Okay, let me see if I can go a bit thinner. 3mm. Just move things out of the way, put things back. Have a tile to one side ready. I'm just gonna roll it a bit thinner and make sure it's level. I'm going to chop that bit off at the top because I cut down and that will not get level. I may even run that through the pasta machine. Let me see if I can go to my thicker setting. And go to a 2. That's better. And I'm going to try and incorporate as much colour as possible. And I will do another piece, try and get similar. If I use this other piece from the beginning, just to try and get it so the earrings somewhat match. So I have red, green and blue and yellow. Trying to think which bit of it would have come from. It's the triangular bit. Is it there? Yeah. They're somewhat similar, aren't they? Just tie the edges, they're not too bad actually. So they can be earrings. Let's bring in my tile. Don't worry, I will make sure all that gets used. And I'm just going to give them a little bit of a burnish. Just make sure there's no fingerprints on there, any lumps and bumps. I've got a little spot of purple there that I don't want, so I'm just going to shave it away just to give it a cleaner finish. Lovely. And then that's a bit thicker. If I remember, I did put it through the pasta machine, didn't I? So I may need to just adjust this and do that again. So that they're the same thickness. Don't want odd earrings, do we? It's better. So they're quite thin. Pop those on. Quick burnish. So I will now go away and bake these, and I will polish, come on Sarah, sand and buff before I come back and see what we can turn them into. Okay, see you soon. So here we are, I am back, and all I've done with these is, because this is quite a bright and bold colourful pendant, I've kept the cord quite simple, and it's just black, I think it's wax covered cord, and I've just popped a couple of crimps on the end and added a lobster clasp for that. And with the earrings I've put some silver ear hooks on. And what I did, rather than do all the sanding and buffing, which it is very time consuming, I give it a coat of liquid clay, popped it back in the oven, and then when it cooled down I give it a buff just with my buffing wheel on my Dremel. So I did the same with these, but I've not yet buffed these. So you can see the difference, even though it's quite shiny, but it's shinier if you give it a quick buff. So that's that's how they turned out. So I'm quite pleased with the end result. From the picture that inspired me in the first place, I think I've got it quite close. So in my next video, all those scraps that I had here, I have made lots of earrings, sneak preview there, and I'll just do a quick, I don't know, it's 10 or 15 minute video, just showing you how to bust the scraps. So until then, thank you for joining me again, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the process, and maybe give it a go. Send me some pictures on Facebook and let me see what you're doing. Comment and let me know how I'm doing. That would be nice. It's always nice to hear from you. And until then, I will let you go, and I will see you soon.